Fellaini's back in the... He looks like he's going to start tomorrow, but we looked a better team going forward without Lukaku in. Now, Jose's not going to drop him because of the price tag, but Martial down the middle, he was superb.
Let us know your thoughts. 0345 111 7625. Give us a call now. Let us know if you're thinking that, Lukaku, is he worth giving a bit of a rest to, or what happens with the strike force of Manchester United? We'll get to that when we preview a derby in the FA Cup, because I want to talk about the Jose Mourinho comments that he made in today's press conference. He ain't going anywhere, Webby. He's not going anywhere. The rumours that saying that he might try and be having a deal with PSG, he might not stay with United come next year, but he's come out and he said it's garbage news. Now, what do you make of that, Webby? Are you happy that he's committed himself to United for an extra year? Is there anyone out there maybe who isn't too fond of Mourinho, who might think an extra year won't be good enough?
Do you know what, Gaz? This social media, if it would have been about in the 70s and 80s, after watching United play, absolute idiots on there. So I actually seen someone saying, sack him. Ugh. Now, I'd go to war for Jose.
Yeah.
I'd go in the trenches with him. It's what we needed after... He should have come when Fergie left, and the people are just forgetting and just looking how well the other mob are doing. We're doing okay, you know what I mean? They've had an extraordinary season, fair play to him, but we're doing all right, and under those eight, it's just going to get better. But you got to back the manager, One thing what's got me... I know you're going to go on about it in a bit. Is he a bit of the go at Paul Scholes? Paul Scholes is a fan like me, like you, like Gaz, like everybody. And he's upset when we don't play well. And he just manages, he says it because he's on the telly. To have a go back at him, he can only win this. So just forget about it. Jose, Paul Scholes is a big United fan. And he's upset, and he gets upset when we don't win as much as I do and you. So I just think it's a bit thing. But Jose's staying. And like saying, once Wenger leaves Arsenal, that's it now for the long-term managers. 4 or 5 years, and then they go to another club. Guardiola leaves it in a couple of years. It's the way the world of football is now. You're not going to get another Fergie, you're not going to get another Wenger. Simple as that. But Jose, for me, is the main man for United.
Yeah, well, Gaz, what do you make of it then? He's come out, he's had to defend himself. He ain't going anywhere. I just want to say that if anyone's having trouble with the audio, I think we're all right now. Everyone's saying the audio's spot on. You missed. Great chat. We're having great chat. Gaz made some brilliant points, didn't you, Gaz?
I swore 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting sacked. Gaz, you made it. What do you make of the Mourinho comments then? He came out. He said he ain't going anywhere. As a United fan, give you confidence. Is that what you want to hear?
Of course it does, but there is one particular way that he's going about it, which has made me laugh. He's made a sort of big deal about the fact that he will never leave United, but... obviously, basically what he said by that, he said, I'll never leave, but if they ask me to leave, I will go.
Yep.
So it's essentially it's a nice little insurance policy, isn't it, for United fans, because it means that it's literally going to have to get to the point where he gets sacked for him to leave, and he's never going to walk away. But I kind of think that that's a given with him, to be honest. I don't think any manager really wants to leave, especially when they're actually doing something. Webby's just pointed out some comments for me. We'll go through the comments in a bit.
No, leave the comments. Stop pointing out the comments. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to Raj on line 1. What he's done is he's called us 0345 111 7625. Get on the blower now. Give us a call 0345 111 7625. Raj, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Good evening, Raj. Tell me about what you want to speak to the gentleman in the studio about. Is Mourinho on the squad?
So it's really 3 things. First of all, it's the board. Personally, I think we need to be backing Mourinho, but we need to be careful in terms of the players we try to strip out. So, for example, Luke Shaw, I think the fact that we're going after Tony Rose, personally, I'd rather we keep Luke Shaw and try to work on him. So I think the board needs to back Mourinho, but the board needs to be careful in terms of the positions they back him on. Because I think we need to be, I think Mourinho and the board, they need to be in the middle with transfers. Yeah. So it can't be fully Jose's way and it can't be fully the board's way.
Okay, and is there any transfers in particular that you want to bring up? Is there someone that United brought into the club that you maybe thought should not be at Old Trafford?
Personally, I think the most important thing is we need to get rid of the deadwood in the squad.
And who's the biggest deadwood then? Your top deadwood that you want to just get rid of?
I think the player that frustrates me the most is Tom Young. And it's not that he's a bad player. It's just he can't go both ways of the pitch. He only knows how to defend. I don't think he's as good going forward as other players in the squad.
Yeah. Do you agree with him, Webby?
I don't agree, because he's an Italian defender that can't defend. Italian defenders are brought up defending, Don't get me wrong, Raj. He started off well for us when Shaw was flying at left back. We looked so good, and he's just seemed to have gone backwards. I mean, you're right, he needs to go. He's not on his own, but these players are on big contracts, Some of them might not want to go, they just might want to sit there. If I'm a player and I'm not playing games, I want to leave to play football, but that's a different world now, Raj. Some people are quite happy to just sit back and take the money, mate.
I also understand what you're going on about, Raj, there, where you say that they need to compromise in a way, sort of the board and Jose are meet in the middle, and when it comes to signing players. However, you sort of look at that a different way, and I know I hate comparing us to City, and I really don't want to do that. He's doing it. But I'm going to do it right now. At the end of the day, Pep, in the summer, Pep Guardiola he has given the board a list of names that he wants, and he got every single one, and that is why they're absolutely smashing it this season. That wasn't necessarily the case with United. We did get a few players that we wanted, but not all of Jose's targets, and we have the money to go out and get all of Jose's targets. Oh, we did have the money, and I imagine that the board and Jose were probably going back and two with each other on this a little bit, and maybe that disagreement, if like you say they came to a compromise, I understand it, but I think that when you've got a manager like Jose, it's his way or the highway. Yeah.
But you know what? I think what we need to think about here and we need to consider is, all right, yes, Mourinho and Pep took over at the same time, but if you looked at the City squad and our squad before Mourinho took over, who would you say that we had was on the same level as Silva, De Bruyne, Aguero? I don't think we had many players like that.
Yeah, is it the world-class players? Is that what you're alluding at?
We are behind in our cycle of our squad, so I think we're about a year and a half behind in terms of our cycle.
A year and a half, just about the right time of Jose's contract.
You know what, Raj? And can I just thank you for being so sensible? Like, seriously, most people are here like, why aren't we winning the league this season? Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we winning everything?
It's not going to happen.
No,
exactly. Be realistic.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what a big point was, what you made, Raj, is that also, once both managers come in, he was left with a better squad than what Jose took over, and he's gone out, like Gaz said, he went out in the summer, identified his two weaknesses, which were full-backs, because the two he had before with half right. He's gone out and spent 100 million, and I admit I laughed, but I'm wrong for laughing. He was right. Obviously, one of them's injured now, but the other one's a current England international, a decent player, but he's getting the best out of them. And I think if you look at our full-backs, both our first choice full-backs are wingers, so we need to spend a bit of money and back the manager all the way.
This is it, and our full-backs are the main problem as well now.
Yeah, I think just one last thing on Mourinho. I don't understand people who are wanting him out. It's not like we're going to get a better manager. I think we just need to be patient and try it out, because changing a manager every couple of years is not going to change anything. If anything, it'll make it worse, because the squad that we've got is just going to end up a mess, like a few players from one manager, a few players from another. We need to be sensible, give the manager time, and obviously the fact that he's already won 2 trophies in his first season is a good start, so we just need to be patient. I don't understand the fans who are asking for him to be sacked. I'm not being funny, but we're not going to get a better manager out there at the minute.
Right, Raj, I've got to say thank you very much. Some very sensible points there coming on, being the first caller of the show. You can be the next caller of the show, 0345 111 7625. The number is on the bottom. Give us a call now. Producer James will have a chat with you, and he'll get you on air and you can speak to us, because we're going to keep rolling through them today. A lot of United fans want to have their say. I think we got Abdi on line 2. Good evening. Have we spoke to him? Abdi, are you there?
Oh. Yes, I am.
Yes, how are you, Abdi? You okay?
Evening. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
I'm very, very well. You want to speak about Lukaku?
Yes.
Tell me about what your opinions are on Lukaku and the way he's playing at the minute, and what you got to say.
I think from most of the service he's getting, I think he's doing all right. The problem with our fans or the players themselves is that we expect Lukaku to do things that he cannot do.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our crosses are woeful. Some of the crosses we do, especially at Old Trafford, are disaster class. So Lukaku cannot shoot from outside the box 25 yards. He needs good crosses in the box to do damage,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I completely agree. I completely agree there, mate, Abdi. And the thing is, as well, I think that a lot of that's because our wingers aren't proper wingers. Like, they're not wingers who can cross. It's like players like Anthony Martial. I love him. I go on about how much I think he's one of the best young talents in the world. Marcus Rashford, exactly the same. But they're not wingers. They're not going to stop and whip it in on the left foot, are they, when they're playing on the left-hand side? And this is where one of the targets, someone like Perisic, who was a target for us in the summer, maybe not necessarily a world-class player, but a player who offers something different, just an out-and-out winger in the squad.
If you look last year when he was at Everton, a lot of his goals come from Morales, who's an out-and-out winger, whipping in balls for Lukaku.
Exactly.
Once we get that winger in, pal, I think he'll score 30 plus a season. It's getting that right winger in to produce a crosses, because you're right in what you're saying.
Yeah, Abdi, do you know who you'd want to bring in? Is there any names out there you can come to mind and you say, they'll do perfectly at United?
Messi.
Ronaldo, I'm just but I think some of the players that we linked with already, we have those kind of profile players already, like say Dybala, Griezmann. They're not really their marquee signings, but we got creative midfielders, attacking midfielders. But what we need is someone like Mahrez or Malcolm on the wing that can get the balls in. Malcolm from Marseille, have you guys heard about him?
I've heard of him.
Yes, I've heard a lot of good things
Never
about
seen
him.
him play, though.
I've heard a lot of good things about him.
So is that who you're going for?
Yeah, he's got a good cross in him, and he's not marquee signing, but he could do a really good job on getting those balls in.
What price would you reckon we'd have to pay for this lad? What's
after Van Dijk, maybe 60 million.
60 million. Oh, who knows? Abdi, very, very, thank you very much for your call there. What a man. Get in touch now, 0345 111 7625. Like Bill has done. Bill is on line one. Bill, you want to talk about Mourinho, and we've got to stand by him when it comes to transfers.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe that the board should be interfering in his plans for transfers. If Mourinho's got an idea of who he wants, that's who we should stick with. He knows his stuff. He's been doing it long enough. I also believe that we need to keep Pogba playing in that midfield three further up the pitch. I don't believe in keeping Lukaku out because at the beginning of the season when Pogba was playing further up the pitch, Lukaku was scoring goals for fun, and they were just as dynamic as what they were the other night there with Martial up front. Mm-hmm. We need to get somebody to help out in the midfield, somebody like maybe Goretzka, or somebody along that lines, like this Serbian lad we've also been linked with. I can't remember his name offhand, to help fill out that midfield, so we've got a good, strong midfield three. The right hand side would be really good if we could get somebody who could swing in crosses. I don't care who that is, but I know we've been linked with players like Mahrez. Mahrez would be very dynamic going forward, but he's just not a big name, and I think that's what's putting a lot of people off.
Would you have Mahrez then, Bill? Would he fit into your squad?
In a heartbeat. Yeah.
Gentlemen, Mahrez, United.
I said it last week. Let's go to him and give him 50 million, whatever they want. You know what I mean? It wasn't only 18 months ago he virtually won Leicester the league. I'd go and get him now. He's up for sale. Everyone's got a price. You go to Leicester. He's going to want to come to Manchester United. No disrespect to Leicester. Let's go and buy him. He's a great player.
Yeah, Bill, sorry, I just want to have a chat. Now, Abdi came on and talked about Lukaku. Well, you got to keep the faith in him. You fully agree. You don't want to see him out. You want to see him playing every game?
I don't want to see him playing every game because he'll be knackered. It will take its toll on him. But yes, he should be playing as many games as we can possibly get out of him. So long as we've got Pogba in our midfield three, Lukaku will be potting in goals for fun. Potting
go. Bill, thank you very much for your call, man. Bill. Very intelligent callers so far on the Full-Time Devils takeover of Excess Manchester.
I'm trying to say we're thick.
No. We're going to take a little break now, but what we need to do is give us a call, 0345 111 7625. Get your calls in now so we can get you on after the break. Don't go anywhere because it's only about 2 or 3 minutes. Gentlemen, we'll be right back after this. Good evening, we are back. This is the XS Manchester Football Social, live on Facebook, YouTube and on 106.1 FM. And you can listen to us around the world. Get the XS Manchester radio app. Listen to us online as well, xsmanchester.co.uk. Now, we've got Martin on the line. We'll speak to you very soon, Martin. Give us a call now, 0345 111 7625. And Daniel, don't worry, we'll be coming to you very soon. But I want to quickly go through some comments. I've got some comments on Facebook here. We are live on Facebook. Get your comments in. Niall says, can't believe after Luke Shaw's recent performances, you don't consider him as first choice. I think he's best yet to come, and I think he'll be injury-free as well. So just comments there about Luke Shaw. Gaz, what have you got over on YouTube?
Yeah, there's some quite interesting ones, actually. Someone says that our priority should be getting a director of football in. That's from Football Counter. So that's quite an interesting idea. I've seen people say that over the last few years. And a lot of people with the suggestions on how to improve recent form. I know we just got the win, but some pretty dreadful form before that. But yeah, some people just saying where we need to strengthen. Someone saying bring Robin in. Someone saying Giggs should be manager. But my favourite comes from Jed Rasty, who just says do stuff that makes us win.
Exactly. Like Martin might say. Martin, good evening, Martin.
All right, mate. How's it going?
I'm very, very well, Martin. Now, Martin, let's talk about January transfers. Who do you want in at Manchester United?
If I had a choice who'd cost the right money, it would be Jack Wilshere.
Oof.
I think he's an extremely underrated player.
Yeah. How much would you spend on Jack Wilshere?
Well, in today's transfer market.
Yeah. How much do you think you'd go for?
You're tossing a dice, aren't you? I don't know, you give 40 million for us, I suppose.
40 million? I mean, that's all right. Well, Wilshere, I mean, now why is it Wilshere? What attracts you to Jack Wilshere?
Well, I think if you look at the likes of ball players, Paul Gascoigne, Paul Scholes, I think given the chance, given the run, he's your man. I think he's up there. I'm not an Arsenal fan, I'm a United fan, obviously, but I just think he's that sort of player. Given a run in the team, I think he's your playmaker.
Now the thing is, mate, I agree with you in a way where if Jack Wilshere did get a run in a team, don't get me wrong, you probably would be a very good player, but I think we're all aware that that's never going to happen just because it's an impossibility. The guy can't. It's like Phil Jones. If Phil Jones got a run in the team, I think he'd be a decent player, but he's never going to do it because he's always injured.
If this phone-in was 4 years ago...
He's done it so far this year, hasn't
he? Yeah, but I'm just saying, if this phone-in was 4 years ago, I'd agree with every word you said then. 4 years ago, he was probably the best midfield player.
24 years old?
Yeah, but all I'm saying...
he's not that old.
He's not... Hey, on his day, great player. On his day, not knocking him. But how many good days does he have? You know, with Wiltshire, he could get injured on Saturday and be out for 8 months, you know.
I think that's down to management, and training and everything else. I think it's 24 years old. If you've not got a strong body at 24 years old, then...
Well, let's see what happens.
I think the best is in front of him, isn't it?
Of course, he's out of contract at the end of the season. People forget about that Arsenal. Ozil and Sanchez are out of contract, and they forgot about Wilshere, who's been on the periphery of the team, obviously at Bournemouth on loan last year. Come back, made a statement. Let's see.
Oh, right. Well, I think we've lost Martin there. Sorry, Martin. Carry on. What were you going to say?
I don't know.
Martin, about Jack Wilshere.
Just going about Jack Wilshere. Last year, obviously, went on loan at Bournemouth. Picked up injuries there. On his day, like you're saying, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, there was talk of City paying 50 or 60 million for him. He is a great player, and they was trying to build an England team around him, but he's too injury prone. You can't rely on him. Yeah, he's out of contract at the end of the season. If he comes available, I think he might stay at Arsenal. That's my thing of him. If he keeps playing, he has a run of games. Who's saying he's not going to get back in the England squad?
I think you know what, and I kind of think that it's only when he said he's been all right this season. I mean, I know he's had a decent couple of games, but
3 games.
I know. He's not. I mean, I don't know. I think
it's a goal last night, Gaz. You see his goal last night.
Yeah,
great goal.
Yeah,
great goal.
But I just don't. You can't justify spending 50 million on someone based on 3 games and a good goal last night. You know
no,
what
we
I mean?
can't. We're going to go to Daniel on line 2. Daniel, you want to talk about Pep and his purchases of younger players?
Yep. It's Daniel on the line. Hope everyone can hear me.
Yeah, can hear you loud and clear, Daniel. What would you want? What's your points?
I am so happy to be on this. First of all, thank you lot so much.
Yeah. Go on, Daniel.
It's crazy.
No,
It's crazy. You see the thing, yeah? To be honest, guys, hope you're really hearing me, and Webby, how no one in the whole of Manchester, at least our side of it, could identify with Pep doing things that Ferguson was doing when he came to United.
Interesting.
Okay, let's try and scale it a bit. 1 year he didn't win nothing. Fergie's was free. Next thing, I'm hearing Sterling, I'm hearing Sané. Hey, this is not a problem for today or tomorrow or next week. He's putting us a problem of 10 years. And already there was De Bruyne, there was a Silva looking lethargic, but now is a man of himself on that pitch. Now we go to man management. Like, how no one saw all those purchases as it was going to be very detrimental. Guys, you probably knew from the start of this season that we were not going to win this league in your heart. But as a United fan, obviously we have to back our team and all of that. But to hit the nail on the head, getting those young players that are finished products, good and fine, you don't want to be buying the like Gessima, Galacticos, whatever. But people that you would actually work with, okay, now that's down to any manager, down to Mourinho. Okay, good and fine. He knows himself. He knows the kind of people he can work with. Hence Matic.
Yep.
He asked this for Perisic. You know, me, you, Webby, guys, my brother on the line. We know if United had gotten Perisic, probably Lukaku would have had more headed goals.
Without doubt.
Probably the whole team will probably be playing in a different sense when we all have that enforcer up there actually doing what he's meant to do and then scoring these goals. And these kids that we then have is like playing Sané as a striker or playing Sterling as a striker with Mourinho, not with Pep, because Lord knows I am sure he can make it happen with those guys.
Well,
but so now that happening, us playing such kids is just like us playing such kids at those positions. Like, to me, it just doesn't make such sense having Martial where he is, Rashford where he is. Good and fine for the present point. Good and fine. That's okay where we are at. But then, if this is a manager that has been proven so much, United didn't get Mourinho after 2 days of research. They knew what they were getting. You knew you're getting a man that wants to stick by his own, and he has proven that his own has always worked. So now it's a jam of egos. United as the big brand, which I found a problem with, to be honest, now it's like the brand is bigger than the football club. You can look at it in different ways and stuff, but like, because of the monetary value now, it's almost like we can't just hit the nail on the head right on it, and it's actually it's very, very frustrating for real fans that have United at heart.
I completely I know what you're
Daniel,
saying,
we're gonna have to chill you out, Daniel. You're getting it all off your chest.
I like what you said there. I like what you said there though about the brand, because it has this has been happening for years and years.
He confirmed it on his last press conference. If you saw it, the last one we had after the Fringy game, he confirmed it. Sorry. He confirmed that it's not about big clubs. Inter Milan is a big club. Every other club he's been at is a big club. But it's not about big club now. It's about you making that big team.
Exactly.
And Madrid have been able to successfully do that on and off the pitch.
Yeah.
Now, Daniel, we're going to have to thank you for your call, Daniel. Cheers for calling us. Will you call us again? Will you call us again, won't you?
I wish I could be right there.
Maybe one time, Daniel. Maybe one time we'll give you a call. Thank you very much to Daniel, because we've got to go all the way over to Germany now and speak to Isaac. Isaac, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Glory, glory, Man United, you know.
Glory, Man United. Now, you want to speak about Jose Mourinho?
Yeah, I want to speak about Jose Mourinho. I want to speak about my great club, Manchester United, you know.
Yeah, go on. No, we'll go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I watch you guys every time on YouTube, you know, and I thought today I should call in to let you know how much I appreciate what you are doing on behalf of our team, Manchester United, you know.
Buzzing, yeah. So what do you want to say about Jose Mourinho?
I know Jose Mourinho, he has been there, he has done it, so I don't like the way some of our legend players, there are pundits on BT Sport and Sky Sport, the way they are bringing the club down,
You don't like it.
I don't like it.
Don't like the pundits. I know what you're saying.
The pundits, yeah.
Are you talking?
Manchester United legends that are pundits,
Are you talking about Scholes in particular?
Like Scholes, like for Scholes and Phil Neville and the rest, Like if you look at the Chelsea where Mourinho was coaching before, the likes of John Terry and Lampard, they are still talking good about Jose Mourinho. But in Manchester United, I think we are happy to have Mourinho. We are lucky to have him. He's a counterweight. To Pep Guardiola in Manchester City.
Yeah. So you're a happy fan, Isaac. You're a happy fan.
Yeah, I'm a very happy fan. I want Mourinho to stay for another 15 years in Manchester United.
15 years, Isaac. You heard it here first. Thank you very much for your call, Isaac. What a man. Get your calls in now. A lot of positivity in the room. I was going to speak about how Mourinho won't get a top 4 spot, but I'm going to have to save that till after the break because I want you to get your calls in. 0345 111 7625. Give us a call now. Get on air. I've got a little quiz for us. Okay, are you ready for this?
I love a good quiz.
Right, here we go. I've got a jingle.
Name that team.
Right, so here's what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a famous fixture in United's history, and you are gonna have to name that team from the starting 11, from the goalkeeper to the strikers.
Mate, I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Now, being the FA Cup, I'm gonna give you the FA Cup 2016 winning team for United. The one that won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. You're going to have to give me the starting 11, okay? From the goalkeeper all the way up to the strikers. The last time United won the FA Cup, I want that starting 11. If you're watching, no Googling, right? No cheating. Send us the starting 11 that you think started for Manchester United. You've got, I say, about 3 minutes to do it. We'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Get thinking, and we'll see how well Webby and Gaz have done at Name That Team.
The Excess Manchester Football Social.
We are back for the final part of the show. Good evening. Thank you very much for listening to the Full-Time Devils takeover of XS Manchester. Keep listening, keep commenting, because we will be getting to your comments soon at the end of the show. We will also be speaking about the FA Cup, the game against Derby. But it's time to do what the little cliffhanger.
Name that team.
Okay, name that team. It's a little competition I gave you. I gave you a famous fixture in United's history, and you have to name that team, the starting 11. Now, since it was the FA Cup, or since it is the FA Cup, we gave you the 2016 FA Cup final team that beat Crystal Palace. Now, gentlemen, I'm going to start off. Now, who wants to go first? You're going to take it in turns.
I think Webby's probably smashed it, to be honest.
Now, Webby, are you ready? Let's start off with the goalkeeper.
I want to give you the full roundup first. So I'll give you Crystal Palace 1, Puncheon, Manchester United 2, Juan Mato, Jesse Lingard, and my team was Spanish Dave in nets.
Right, okay, so Webby and Gaz, you've got yours written down.
Yeah.
And have you got yours written down, Webby? Now show it to the camera so they know there's no cheating. No cheating, yeah? They're starting 11.
It's in a weird order, but it's written down.
So, Webby, you've gone for David De Gea. Have you gone for David De Gea, Gaz?
Of course.
Yep. Now, let's start off with the back four.
Right back, Antonio Valencia.
Gone for the same.
Yeah.
Centre half, Chris Smalling.
And what have you gone for, Gaz?
Chris Smalling.
Who got sent off.
Yeah.
Here's where I start going wrong. Centre half, Phil Jones.
I'm saying Daley Blind.
Gaz, you'd be correct.
Yes.
Now, who's that left back?
Rojo.
I've put Rojo.
Rojo.
You're both correct there. So far, you've got 5, Gaz, and you've got 4, Webby. Right now,
ain't Google a wonderful thing, Dave?
Now, the midfield, the centre mids, we've only got a short amount of time.
I've gone for Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
Marouane Fellaini.
Yeah.
And Spanish Ander.
You've got 3 there that have started. Right. Now, what about you guys? What did you go for?
Right, was not necessarily centre mids, but I'll just tell you the whole midfield, shall I?
Yeah, go on then.
Do you want me to just tell you everyone?
Go on.
So, I've gone for Lingard, Carrick, Herrera, Mata, Martial.
Oh.
How many have I got right there?
I think you got about 3 right. Should I give you the roundup of the team?
Can I give you the roundup?
Yeah, go on then.
I've got Juan Mato.
Yeah.
I've got Ander Herrera, Michael Carrick, Marouane Fellaini, and Anthony Martial.
Now, the one that's catch you all out is Herrera didn't start. He didn't even come on. What? Herrera didn't even come on. I'll give you the midfield. Michael Carrick and Wayne Rooney was in centre mid for Manchester United. Mata was on the right wing. Fellaini just above Rooney with Martial on the left and Rashford up top.
Rashford start.
I'll give it to Webby. I think you got more than Gaz there. Well done, gentlemen. Now, we will speak about FA Cup, but we've got some callers to get through. And now, wish me luck on saying this. Guled.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, did I get your name right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Buzzing. Now, so you're calling up to talk about the right wing problem.
Yep. Like,
no, for United.
I was going to say, you mean for United?
For United. It's not a political show. We don't touch that stuff. The right wing problem for Manchester United.
Yeah, we don't have out and out wingers like Mata and Mkhitaryan. They always cut in, and yeah, that's a big issue. And also number 10, like whenever Pogba's out, we don't have like someone that can replace him. It's always Herrera or Fellaini. Like, we need better. Like next in this summer, like we need to address that problem. Otherwise, I don't think we'll compete with Man City next season, because Man City are going to spend more and more money and improve their squad. So we need to get a replacement for Pogba whenever he's injured or suspended. And also, we need to have a right winger that can cross the ball. Like if you get a right winger, Lukaku can score more goals with his head. Like, he needs more serves right now. Like, we're not all our goals like recently it has been individual goals. We have been creating many chances. Like, for example, Everton, both the goals were few worldies, but we don't create many chances. Like, for example, Liverpool, Man City, like they create so many chances. With us, we don't create many chances. We rely on Pogba too much, and we need others to step up. Like, so called this January or in the summer, we need a right winger and maybe number 10. Yeah.
Do you know what? Goulet brings up an important point there, that maybe we should be preparing for next season. It's unlikely that the Premier League is coming to Old Trafford in May, so let's look towards 2018-19 season. City will strengthen, but United need to do the same, Webby.
I think that when the first game of the season started, you're always looking at next season. You've always got someone with an eye on it. I also think, going about number 10, we've got a great number 10 who's on loan in Valencia at the moment. You know, the young kid who's apparently making all kind of noises over there. And I found it strange. Now, I don't know the regards of Fosu Mensah's loan, but watching him last week against City, he got man of the match.
Yeah.
Kept Sane in his pocket. And then our first choice, with Valencia being out, our first choice fullback, which was young at right back, gets a 3-match ban. Can we bring him back? What's the deal with it? You know, he's our player. He belongs to us. How's it work? Because I know some deals are set like for the season, and then if we have to bring him back, we have to give him a payment back. But by all accounts, he's been their best player. So with the problem with having it right back, we've got a ready-made one there. You know, bring the kid back.
I completely agree. I mean, as soon as I heard the question, then just saying, planning for next season, I feel like we've got, your mind instantly goes to young players maybe that we can bring in January that maybe come summer are going to be this big name. But I feel like we've got a lot of young players out on loan that could come back and, they have that potential to be really great players. The two that Webby just mentioned straight then, Fosu Mensah, man. Yeah, I always get told off for saying his name wrong. Fosu Mensah, man. I really look forward to getting him back, without doubt. I can't wait for it.
Guled, thank you very much for the call. What a nice little call there, Guled. What?
Chris is shaking his head. I've said his name wrong again. I just can't get his name right. I can't do it.
Now we're going to have to talk about the FA Cup derby on Friday. It's the third round. Now, Webby, what do you make of the FA Cup? Is it still as big as it was back in the day? Are you, as a United fan, wanting Mourinho to really go for the FA Cup?
Of course, I want us to go as far as possible and go all the way to Wembley and win it. But for me, devalued now with the FA selling the naming rights of it. Also, the kick-off time, 5:30. I remember as a kid growing up, whether United was in the final or not, 3 o'clock and the build-up all day. And Saturday now 5:30 for telly to go against other things on the TV.
Yeah.
And another thing what's got me is the semi-finals being at Wembley. We're quite lucky as United fans. We've been to Wembley. I don't know how many times I've been to Wembley. But, you know, if you look at it as a small club who managed to get to a semi-final and win it, then they're back there again. And for me, the love of the game, the love of Wembley's gone. Now, the FA are going to have them there all the time because they spent that much money on Wembley. I remember the great days at Villa Park and at Goodison and at Hillsbury, you know. And for me, it took it away. Don't get me wrong, I want to go as far. Friday night will be an hard game against Gary Rowett's Derby team who are playing very well. Jose will go strong and we'll have enough to win it. But for me, the FA Cup's not the same as it was.
Just get in touch with the comments because Gaz will be reading them out about you as United fans. Do you agree with the FA Cup? Is it as important as it once was? Gaz, what's your feelings on the FA Cup?
It's a shame that it's not as important as it once was, but it really is. I mean, some people like to try and blame Fergie for this, or people like Fergie for playing weaker sides in it, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think that the points that Webby said then are absolutely spot on. What an insult it is for me, and I know that I think that fans of any Northern English team will agree what an insult it is to have the semi-finals at Wembley. I think it's a disgrace, mate. You've got, originally you had one at Old Trafford and you had one at Villa Park, and I went to one at Villa Park against Watford, and the atmosphere was incredible, and it also just makes sense to have the two semi-finals in the middle of the country. You know what I mean? Like, geographically, it makes sense. Logistically, I understand having the final in London. You know, it completely makes sense, but it's such an insult for the semi-finals to be at Wembley, and it takes away how special it is to actually get to Wembley. Like Webby was saying, the occasion of the FA Cup final.
It should be the occasion of the final, not the semi-final.
Exactly.
And it's, for me, it's took that away. You know, we're lucky enough we've been there so many times, but for me, and the FA, what could they do? They did that much in debt with a stadium built, so they're going to be there probably till the day we all disappear, and it's sad, you know, but it's just a way. It's still a big cup. It's still a big cup, not as big as it was because the Champions League is a lot bigger now, but it's a cup of what to win. And let's start with getting through.
I know that this is very unlikely, but could you imagine if Newcastle and Sunderland played each other in an FA Cup semi-final and they all had to go down to London?
Yeah, it's one of them. Can I ask you then, Gaz, do you think Mourinho will start a stronger side, or do you think he'll play about a bit?
No, I think he'll start a strong side. I mean, I know that people point out that maybe he started too much of a strong side for the game against Bristol. But to be honest, I don't think the players were that bothered about it. But he did start quite a strong team for that, so I can definitely see him doing it tomorrow night. I'm quite looking forward to it, actually, Friday night football.
Yeah, Webby, third round memories for you. You tell me about one earlier.
The third round and all that. Reds will remember this. Nottingham Forest away. We just got beat at home the week before by Palace, I think.
What year was this?
This was 1990.
1990.
Obviously, the first cup Fergie won, and I remember getting on the coach in the morning, and it was classed as Fergie's funeral. You know, and then the rest is history, obviously. Mark Hughes to Robbins, and then we go over to Eddyford, Clayton Blackmore, and then we go to Newcastle and win 3-2. Every round that year was away. We got Sheffield United win 1-0, Brian McClare, play Oldham in 2 great semi-finals at Main Road, beat Palace in the final, and it started Fergie's era. But that third round day, we had a lot of injuries, a lot of suspensions, a patched up team, and we beat a very good Forest team 1-0, and it's the best away end I've ever been in my life.
Did you actually think that if he'd lost that game, Fergie might be on the way out?
Martin Edwards said different, but I think that if we would have got beat by Forest, we were right near the bottom of the league. I think he could have gone.
Can you imagine?
No,
sort of moment written in history, that game. Bless you, Gaz.
Thank you very
just
much,
a little
mate.
quiet sneeze there. Very radio-friendly sneeze. That right, we've only got about a minute left. So, Gaz, we've asked the people online about the FA Cup.
Yeah.
What have they said?
Sudhir says the FA Cup is important for us. Liam Coughlin says, no, it's not a big deal. And there's a very interesting, maybe slightly optimistic, but I completely agree that this should be our target for the season. Man United for Life has commented saying, I'll take second in the league, an FA Cup win, and Champions League semi-finals. I think that maybe a tiny bit optimistic, but I think that's something that we should, the minimum, we should be going for that. And I'll tell you what, if we finish the season, second place, FA Cup, Champions League semis, you cannot complain.
No, you can't. So Derby on Friday, I'm sure we build up as well to, it's tomorrow. Blimey, it's tomorrow. So little predictions there, going to go all out, going to bat Derby, no giant killer.
3-1.
3-1 from Webby, no giant killer, is there?
I was going to say 3-1, but I'll say 3-2 now.
You're going to go 3-2?
I go 3-1 every week.
We're going to concede 2 against Derby.
Yeah, mate, I could see it.
You could really?
Jody playing very well.
Are they?
And Birmingham, you know, they sacked the manager Rowett. They must be kicking themselves now.
Ton of confidence against our defence.
Well, gentlemen, thank you, Webby. Thank you, Gaz, for joining us. And thank you for watching us on YouTube and Facebook. And make sure you subscribe to the Full-Time Devils. Do that now. And this has been the Full-Time Devils takeover of the Excess Manchester Football Social. Have a lovely evening.